Welcome to the Real Estate Entrepreneurs Podcast.
Welcome to the Real Estate Entrepreneurs Podcast. This is a repeat today of my friend Nathan Haley joining us all the way from Houston, Texas, man. Actually, is that Houston?
Close to Galveston.
Close to Galveston. So are you in Galveston County?
Yeah, oh yeah. Galveston County, yeah.
So you're in Galveston County. We're probably about an hour away from each other. So
yeah,
maybe a little bit more. I'm in Katy, Texas, man. So
yeah, he's on the other side.
Other side, man. I'm on the west. You're on the south.
Yeah, for sure.
How have you been, man?
Good. Since
I've
our
seen
last talk,
I've seen you being busy on flips.
You know, I'm always busy on flips, but I've been posting more about it.
Okay, that's what it is, right?
Yeah. I've been posting more about it. You know, when the markets changed, when the interest rates changed, which is when the market changed, you know, we intentionally pulled back on purpose because let's just say I really look into things and I thought things were getting all mixed up. So we didn't really know what was going to happen. And then because, you know, we were doing 10 to 12 flips at a time before that. And so we pulled back and we were doing less. We were just doing smoking good deals only. And the market was bringing them to us. And what we found was we have the best product and at the best price in every neighborhood in Houston. And we're still moving them. At first, for a while it averaged about 60 days, 30 to 60 days, for a contract. But now we're back to moving them the first week and a half. So I'm like, I'm not loading up like 10 to 12 at a time anymore, but I'm loading up more.
So what's your main strategy right now? Is it wholesaling? Is it flipping? Like what's the deal?
Main is flip, but we always look to wholesale. My second dad, Tom, he's probably, I talked about him. I feel like sometimes I talk about him too much, but whatever. He's done a lot.
Right.
And he still wholesales to this day. So it's not about how much money you got in your account, not about how much success you had. You should always wholesale, I feel like.
Yeah, wholesaling keeps the bill collector away, right?
Yeah. So we're flipping, we're wholesaling, we're buying and holding. I could talk about us. I'm still buying in Galveston. Everybody's like, "Oh, I'm not buying in Galveston." I bought one, I guess 5 months ago now, from a seller. Brick house with a garage apartment in the back, and that one is rented for the next 7.5 years with the government, and so we get government rents, and so we get 2 rents. In the apartment in the back, it's nice. It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and it's in a good neighborhood. We bought it for $200, put 40 in it, appraised for $460. We pulled out $61,000 on the refi, and we still cash flow $830 something a month.
That's pretty good.
Those are the deals I'll buy in Galveston,
Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about market shift, right? Because I've noticed that a lot of people right now are dead in the water. I even have a property on the market that's not doing anything, like crickets, like it's for rent and for sale and nothing is happening. So what's your take on the current market situation?
I think as an investor, we still have to be picky. We have to be picky, and when I say picky, my job is to analyze risk, take as little risk as possible. And what does that mean on a single family home? To me, that means when you're running the comps, and people say, "Oh, run comps, what's a general?" There is no general. You have to treat every deal as a separate deal. And the biggest thing for me is, what is the days on market? There's still neighborhoods in Webster that go in less than 30 days. We actually wholesaled one over there not so long ago. And so, I mean, that's how I gauge risk and how I lower our risk out there. I would say that I turned down a lot of deals that people were like, "Oh, you would normally buy this." Yeah, well, my risk tolerance in some neighborhoods and just overall is I'm guarding that more, right, with this market because yeah, it just doesn't make a lot. The market in economics. I listen to Tom Berry and a few other people talk about it. It doesn't make a lot of sense right now. So if you can't make sense of 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4, you got to be careful.
Okay. What are, like, in the Houston area? What are some areas, I guess, that where the risk is not worth it?
Yeah. So MLK is tough. We just put one out there, actually, and I was a little bit afraid because there was a bunch of flips on the market and they were sitting. Thank God we're under contract in 2 days. I'm like, man. So this proved to me, I'm like, man, we have the best product at the best price in the neighborhood. So yeah, we're gonna take a little more risk. But I would say MLK is tough right now.
Yeah, 77033 for those of you that are watching this.
Yeah, that's a tough area right now. There's a lot of flips out there. You have a lot of competition, and so supply and demand. You know, um, will I still buy out there? Possibly, if it's a stupid good deal. You got to make me buy it, kind of like that Avenue O deal.
Yeah, it's got to be discounted enough to where it's worth the risk.
Right, right. And some other areas that are inflated, that have a lot of properties, high days on market. Um, Trying to think specifically. I mean, the HR will tell you.
Right.
HR will tell you if it's high days on market. To me, high days on market are 60 days and up, average. 50 days and up, average. So really, I'm looking for. That's one of the first things I'm looking for. Are the days on market low? Still, if they are, then my risk is low.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at days on markets and discount, right? But man, I keep seeing all these deals way above 70% minus repairs out there. Like,
Yeah.
what is going on with that, in your opinion?
My opinion is there are guys out there that are doing novations. We actually partnered with a guy. We're not partnered with him anymore, but we just closed a deal on one that I would never touch, that a realtor had actually just given my phone number to the seller. I didn't even talk to the realtor. And I called the seller, and the house was in good condition. And they discounted the property from retail. And so I brought my guy in who does those things. I'm not the expert on that. And he closed it, listed on HR, closed it. We're making 23 grand. I mean, it's not a flip. It's not a flip amount, but it's money, you know?
Yeah.
So I think those novation guys that are with those nicer properties, they're out there doing that. I also believe some people are getting desperate. So they're locking up properties and trying to move them and not moving them. And I think there was some people who posted recently about uh, um, no memorandum of contracts of people who are not closing on these but locking them up, trying to.
But let's talk about that, because that was a pretty good post that I forgot. I don't know if it was
I think it was James.
James or Derek that posted about it, but
Both, yeah.
um, memos, they've been around forever.
Yes.
Those are not new.
No. No, they're not. No, they're not new. Not at all. And it's always been in the past, like, hey, man, you didn't close on it. I'm going to close on it, or I got a buyer, and we want to work. We used to all work together to get it closed, because if the original person can't close it with whatever they have, if they get a little something for it, that's a win for them, because otherwise they're not going to get anything. So I had that one in MLK that I'm telling you about. I had a wholesaler I'll buy from a lot. He told me about it, walked it. He's like, yeah, let's move on this number. Cool, got it done. Called the seller, ghosted him. So then I got another wholesaler who I buy a lot from. Send an address to me. Once I didn't recognize it, but we pulled up and it was the same address. And I was like, man, I've been in here. I know exactly what I can pay. It's like, really? It's like, yeah. I said the other guy has it under contract. So the seller ghosted him. So the seller went back to the original wholesaler because he had a memorandum of contract. This is the correct way to use this, right? And we closed it that way, right? But though, are there investors who were doing things the wrong way with it? Sure. Doing it the wrong way, sure. Those are, and I don't know the best way to handle that, honestly. What are your thoughts, Ricardo?
Look, man, I ran into a lot of memos, okay?
Yeah.
And I also placed a lot of memos out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I will give you two examples. Example number one. This is a property in Rosenberg, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, this is the funniest property I've ever seen because it's a house that had no foundation.
What do you mean?
The house was sitting on the ground, dude. It's like the foundation was gone. Like that's how bad the foundation was.
Oh, it was like on piers and the piers.
It's a pier and beam. It's a pier and beam home that had a foundation at some point,
and it just withered away.
They just went away from it, and what they did is they put carpet on top of the dirt,
Shit.
And then to walk from room to room, you had to like duck down because it was like for midgets, to be honest with you. Like, so this is what I'm saying is one of the funniest properties I've ever dealt with.
Yeah.
So the lady, it was a nice lady. She must have been on her late 70s. And of course, she's dead tired of this property, man. I mean, nothing made sense on that house. That the roof was kind of like caving in. Dude, it was a disaster. And many people will say that's a tear down. Well, I brought Carlos Trevino out there and he looked at the foundation and he said, bro, I can build you a new foundation for X amount and we can raise it and do it right.
Yeah.
But you're still gonna have to go in the attic and fix the trusts and all of that. But this house, we can salvage it.
Yeah.
I said, all right. So I asked the lady, hey, how much do you want for it? And she's like, give me $10,000 and it's yours. Now, this is years ago, right? So I don't remember what the ARV was at the time, but it was still good enough to where I can put 80 or 90 grand in the property because that's how much it needed, man. At that time, okay, this is probably somewhere around 2018, I think.
So it needed a lot.
It needed a lot. Yeah. I mean, like I said, the house was on the ground, right? So just fixing up the foundation was going to be 30,000 just to rebuild it, basically.
Yeah.
And once you do that, then sewage line and all that stuff needs to be, checked out. So,
right.
Come to find out, I'm gonna close on it. So I was literally close. I was the buyer. I was not gonna wholesale this property.
Yeah.
Because it was like nearly 5 minutes from my office. My office used to be in Rosenberg at some point.
Oh, okay.
And I went and I'm going to closing, and then the title company says he went away. I don't know what he did with the phone, but there he is. Disappear on me, bro.
Sorry.
We're playing with that phone, dude.
Yeah. I'm listening.
Yeah,
I can't see you or me, but whatever, that's fine.
It's all good, man. So anyhow, I guess sometimes when phone calls come in, they knock off the video or whatever. But I can see you perfectly. So when I go to closing, the title company says you have the lady doesn't want to come to closing. I say, what are you talking about? I called the lady, hey, what's going on? She's like, she started insulting me. You're stealing my house and this and that. And I'm like, what? I'm giving you what you
asked.
told me you wanted.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And she hung up, right?
Jesus.
So I'm now like wondering what's going on. So anyhow, I had a memo in it, and one day I get a phone call, and it's another wholesaler.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey man, I see you got a memo on this. The seller doesn't want to deal with you anymore. We need you to release it."
Yeah.
And I said,
I love
"No."
how they come that way.
I said, "I'm not. No, man. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna release this because I gave her what she wanted. So I don't understand why you're in the mix." This guy was paying double the amount of money that I was paying, and of course, the lady got excited about that, and I literally had to go talk to her face to face. And when I went there, her sons were there, and these are grown ass men, and they were like, "You gotta release this. You don't understand, like they're trying to bully me out of it." And I was like, "Bro, do whatever you got.
Yeah. Do whatever you do. I know I'm right. Yeah.
I'm gonna come after you guys for a specific performance."
Yes.
Which is a way of suing the seller to make sure that you guys close on it. Well, she's not going to sign any papers. I said, all right, then you just pay me. You pay me, and I'm off of it.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're not going to pay you shit. So anyhow, I leave, and then like 3 days later, I get a call from the wholesalers. All right, man, how much do you want?
Exactly.
And I said, let's just look. I understand you're helping this lady out. You're paying a lot more than I would. Just give me $5,000, dude, and it's yours.
Yeah.
And we'll save the headache.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, we'll pay you $5,000 at closing. We're going to keep the property. And then what happened afterwards, I have no idea, Nathan, but I got my check. Now, there's another case.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Pearland, pretty house.
Mm-hmm.
Was inherited by a couple of junkies.
Okay.
I go there, and these girls are high. I mean, they're high on heroin. They're in bad shape, dude.
Damn.
And I mean, their physiologic, their physical, they were just in bad shape.
Yeah.
And they're like, how much would you give us? This house is free and clear. And I said, are you sure you want the cash for this? Like, I don't know that you are like sane enough to keep this money around. And she's like, you're right.
Drugs. Yeah.
And so what I did is I negotiated an owner finance deal from her to me to where I will make payments every month, and then I will give her a big down payment. But that way she would protect that money and not go snort it or whatever or use it on drugs.
Yeah.
She agreed on it.
Nice.
And I put a memo on it. But then she became a problem to deal with because of her own drug addiction. And somehow her uncle got involved. And her uncle didn't want her to sell the property and this and that. And she dragged and dragged and dragged. And one day I had earnest money on it. I had like $5,000 on it. I said, you know what, man, I'm not going to buy this house. This house is not for me. So I went out to her and I said, look, let's release this. I'm just going to let it go. You can do whatever the hell you want with this property. I'm not going to close on it because I don't want to continue to drag with you and your aunt and your uncle and everybody else. Now, I suspected somebody was behind it, but honestly, no big deal.
Yeah.
I needed those $5,000 for something else. And I went and terminated the agreement. And 2 years later, dude, a friend of mine calls me up, LeRon Mitchell. Hey, Ricardo. You probably know LeRon. I don't know if you know him or not, but you've seen him around on Facebook. Hey, man, I'm about to close on this property. I'm wholesaling. And there's a memo from your company in it. And I was like, which property, dude? And he's like, Panorama View Lane down in Pearland. And I'm like, I still remember the street. And I was like, you're dealing with this property? And he's like, yeah, man. And it's been a freaking mess with these ladies. And I said, LeRon, let me ask you, like, what are you doing with it? Like, who do you wholesale these to? Like, I don't understand. This is a pretty house, dude.
Yeah.
And he kind of like gave me the numbers, and those numbers didn't make sense for me at all, dude. And or as an investor, like I was like, I'm not buying this. But I said, you know what, Aaron, send me the termination, dude. I'll release that memo. Like, no big deal. Because I honestly let him off the contract back then.
Yeah, sure.
You know what? I didn't want anything to do with it. It's yours. And I signed it. He closed on it. He made his money. Then he told me he made like 20 grand or 10 grand or something like that on the assignment. I said, good for you, man.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people out there placing memos on properties that are so these are the wholesalers for the most part, right? Yeah. And I'm a wholesaler, by the way.
Yeah.
But I'm also an investor.
But you're an ethical person. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. You're going to do the right thing when you need to.
That's right.
Not when you're, it's not one day when you got a ton of money and you're at your peak, or when you're at the bottom. You're going to do the right thing all the time.
That's it, man. And like Joseph Tomaselli, right? He goes in there. You're moving. So I'm gonna go for example number 3, which I forgot.
Okay.
Property in Lake Jackson. Mm-hmm. I go there. This property need a lot of work. Mm-hmm. Maybe with 20 to 30 grand, you will make it a rental already. 50 to 60 is a flip. The guy is like, man, honestly, I had a tenant here for the last 3 years not paying rent, and I just want to get rid of it. I had this other buyer from, I'm not going to mention the company name, but it's the one on the billboards that buy ugly houses. That they were supposed to buy, but they never came to closing.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, that guy disappeared. He didn't answer the phone. He just checked out. I said, oh, okay. How much were you selling this property for? And at the time, he said he's on the hook for 90 grand. And I said, well, shit, at 90 grand doesn't make sense, dude. Like, I wouldn't buy this for 90 grand. And he's like, why not? And so I explained to him the math, right? I educated him on how investors think. And by the way, this is not a guy that's in bad shape financially. This guy actually had a tow wreck company business, had a bunch of tow trucks out there. He had a $100,000 truck on him. Like, this dude is doing okay. He doesn't really need the cash. And I said, man, this is why I wouldn't pay 90. And he's like, what's your best offer? So I go, I think at the time I offered like 55 or something like that. ARV must have been like 150, 160, somewhere along those lines. Mm-hmm. And he's like, man, I can't let it go for 55. What's the best that you can do? And I was like, what will you take? And he says, I'll take 70. And I said, all right, let's do 65, man.
Yeah.
And I'm on it, because I'll keep it as a rental, is what I told him. And honestly, that's what I did. So we open title, and when we open title, sure enough, there is a memo from these Homevestors people.
Yeah.
And I go to him and I said, man, I can't pay cash for this, brother. What do you mean? I was like, this guy's got that title clouded, dude, and I know who the guy is. Yeah. He's not gonna come and release it, dude. I'm sorry. But there is another way I can buy this property. Yeah. How? So you owner finance it to me. I'll take it, and then I'll deal with him once I'm the owner of the property. Uh-huh. And he's like, oh, okay. Let's do that then. How does owner financing look like? I said, look, I'm gonna give you $5 grand down, and you're gonna finance the rest of the balance for 10 years. And we agreed on an interest rate. It was like 3 or 4% at the time. Yeah. I think I offered 3%, and he said, let's do 4. And I said, okay, you win. So
gotta let him win.
Hey, you gotta let him win, right? So all right, you win, dude. No, and we shook hands on it, and boom, we went to closing, and we closed. Once I became the owner of the property, I put it on a land trust. I called the guy. I said, "Hey, man, see, you got a memo on this property in Lake Jackson. Is there a way that I can send you a release so you can release it and call it a day?" He said, "Hell no, I'm not gonna release it." I said, "Okay, when do you want to close on it?" He said, well, I said, look, now I have not told him I'm the owner though. I just bought it for 65. Okay. So I was like, man, you had it on the contract for 90, dude. If you want to close on it this week, let's go. I can give it to you, no problems. Who are you? I said, I'm the new owner. How do you buy the property? I said, well, I know how to buy properties with memos on it, and I just happen to be the new owner. So you got two options. You come to closing this week. By the way, your contract is expired, so you're out of contract. I can easily get rid of this memo. Or I'll sue you for the memo and I'll make you spend some money on it. Now that I own the property, I'm invested in it. I'm willing to put money on an attorney to sue you and get this thing released. Email me the release, I'll sign it. That was it.
Yeah.
Why? He understood, like, hey, this guy's giving me a chance to go to closing. Now, I'm still making money on it because, hey, if I close on it, I just made, what, 25 G's on it? No big deal.
Yeah. So he did the right thing. That's it, right? You ought to talk about it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to close, then go ahead and release it.
Someone's calling me. Sorry.
All good,
I
bro.
got you. And so, yeah.
So how is that fraud? Because I went and put from Schedule C. Now, some people don't understand, and maybe I'm not going to say this is Joseph's case, but some people don't understand Schedule A, B, and C on a title commitment, right?
Yeah.
When you have something on Schedule C that shows up like a memo, a lien, or whatever, and you tell the title company, and you're closing out a title company, please move this from Schedule C to Schedule B. That means whatever goes on Schedule B is not insured by the title commitment. I don't know what's that sound, Nathan. Something sounds
I hear
like
it too.
That's weird.
Oh, it's gone now, I guess. Yeah.
So when you change it from Schedule C to Schedule B, that means that you are allowing the title insurance to sell you a title insurance, but they're not insuring that specific point.
Yeah. Just hitting on what you're talking about. We all got stories, but I did something for the first time in 18 years. I wholesaled what I call dirty title. So
that's a dirty title. Something with a memo is a dirty title.
That's true. Yeah. This one was a little different. This one was on the same street that I had a rental that I made the most money on. The house was really clean. The seller was living there. And ARV was about 230, 240. So I had it for 100. And but the seller told me about the title and stuff. And I said, well, let me see what we can do. We can do things that others can't. Lorena got it, and basically we could get 80% of title clean. There was another 20% that we could not, but that 20% was to two sons at the time that were put up for adoption when they were 8, and they're like 40 something now, and they want nothing to do with nothing. They don't want to talk to us about it. So I wholesaled it, and the buyer knew about it. The lender even knew about it. Anyway, I ended up getting it under contract for because I told her, I said, look, she's going to foreclosure. I said, look, there is title issues. I cannot get clear title. I can't sell this house. But if you want a little bit of cash instead of going to foreclosure, and I know you've tried with multiple people to try to sell this house, and it hasn't worked, then we can look at that.
So did you sell it? Did you sell it as a subject to, or?
Sold it just the way it was.
Oh wow!
So I got it for 32. She agreed. She's like, that's what I was thinking, because you can't resell it because we got to put money in and rent it. I wholesaled it for 50 something to my buddy. He's going to put a bunch of cash in it, and he's going to take the risk of clearing up title with an attorney years down the line. So in the end, the title company issued title insurance on the 80%. not the 20%.
Of course.
Yeah. Um, so, but yeah, that was the story. Everybody was happy after that. Um, but what I did learn was that was my first time doing that. That we should have bought that. We should have bought that. Should have fixed it up, rented it out in the meantime, and had an attorney on it. And when we clear up title, we'll clear up title, even if it's 5 years down the line.
And they eventually will. I had this other property in I forgot if it was Baytown or Beaumont, one of the two. I think it was Baytown. That the lady, her, I couldn't call her husband a husband because they were living together, but they were not legally married.
Yeah.
But they had a bunch of kids.
Okay.
And the man also had other kids that were grown. So when he passed away, his 50% when because they bought the property together. So his 50% goes to his elder childs and the rest of the childs. But there was one child that had nothing to do with the lady. So he was like from his previous, relationship or whatever. But the other two children, because it was three children involved, I remember. So the other two children, I tell children, but they probably our age.
Yeah.
They had agreed that what, that's mom's house. Let's sign off whatever so she can get rid of it.
Sure.
Well, this property needed a lot of work, and she was a hoarder. So it was like when I walked in there, it was full of stuff, and it was gonna take a lot of money to remove all that stuff and then do all the repairs. Although there were not like major repairs. It needed some repairs. Her mortgage was $650 a month, man, on like a prime 3% interest rate.
Yeah.
The house had a pool on it, and cleaned up. That house could have rented for easily at that time maybe $1,200, $1,300 a month.
Yeah.
So I'm like, ooh, this is mine. Now, her other sibling that inherited the property happened to be in prison in Oregon. He was serving like a 40-year sentence.
Done.
Now, this dude did not want to sign anything over to his mother or the wife of his father.
Okay.
Because he wanted all the money, all the
Yeah.
proceeds from the property to him.
I'm sure. Yeah.
The thing is, this property had no equity, man. Like she owed at the time maybe 60, 70,000, and ARV was maybe 140, but that property needed repairs and it needed a lot of, it needed a new roof. I remember it needed the AC. So we try to get in contact with him, and he's not coming into his senses. So I went ahead and bought literally 75% of the property.
Yeah.
And
At a big
then
discount, I'm guessing.
she just literally gave it to me.
Oh, okay.
And I gave her some money to move because she understood that the property needed work. And she just wanted to get away from there. She felt like memories on that property she didn't want to deal with. You know how that goes. So when
Yep.
somebody's getting is ready to walk away, they do it. And there was not a lot of money that we could give her anyways, because like it was not a great deal. It was a good rental, but it's not like a slam dunk. It's not like we were picking it up for 20 grand. Okay.
Right. Right.
And so we took over, and then we went and told them, said, man, we're the new owners. You either release this 25% or we're going to sue you. And, or we're going to go ahead and borrow money for taxes and let it go to tax foreclosure and get it ourselves that way. Like we gave them a bunch of different scenarios. And the guy was like, man, I don't understand any of this shit that you're talking about. Here's the deed. Boom.
Yeah.
But it was after we were the owners.
Sure.
Right.
And that makes sense. I mean, you present people something that's complicated to them, they're going to be like, "Oh, just let me out." Like,
and we gave him money, by the way. We gave them like $1,000. We're like, dude, we'll put $1,000 in the commissary for you, and for your signatures and all that. And I guess he said, I'd rather have $1,000 in prison than not have anything.
So I got a scenario live now that's in transaction. Maybe you've been doing this a long time, and I asked around to my small Top Gun group. Remember that one?
Right.
Yeah, we're still in text and stuff, and they gave me some advice. But basically, we went under contract with a seller with some acreage in Alvin. The realtor brought it to us, and I just asked her what she wanted. It was pretty close to what we could pay. I think I offered her like 10 grand less. She took it, something like that. And everything was good. Everything was good. I went to her house to sign. She was looking for the survey. I met her husband. Everything was good. I should have took a picture of all of us smiling.
Yeah.
Everything was good. The day, so she inherited this property. Her mom passed, and they were, unloading stuff, and there was a cousin in the back that she had already figured out what was going to happen with. I was like, cool, if you need some help, I can help you with that. I mean, that's why realtors bring me deals, is because I cater it to the seller, right?
Okay.
If they need help moving, if they need a lease back, if they need, right, I mean, it's catered to them. Close when you want. Close next week or in 6 months. Let's just put it on paper.
Right.
But so in this instance, everything was good. She was texting me, checking in. She asked me for a copy of the contract. Sent it to her a couple days later. And date it was the um. She calls me and says, "Hey, I am having like second thoughts. I want to back out, basically." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Well, it's like pretty much one
What
business
changed?
day." Yeah, that's what I asked her. I was like, "So what has changed since we all agreed and everybody was ready to move forward?" She's like, "Well, I was just thinking about it. My mom passing. Maybe I moved too fast, and I don't know what we're gonna." So I was like, I was trying to work. I was like, I was like, okay, I I empathize with everything going on, with your mother's passing and everything. And she said her husband's, she was really open with me. She said she told her husband, and her husband told her, "Sounds like you need to call Nathan." I think he was on my side, right? It's like, this doesn't make sense. And but I asked her, I was like, look, she's like, "I don't want more money. I'm not trying to sell it to somebody else." Like, okay. And I said, well, I was pretty, I felt pretty flexible with her. I said, well, why don't we do this? Why don't you sign a first right of refusal to me? That way, later on, if you do decide to sell it, that I'm your first person you're going to go to, and we'll move forward with this agreement that we've already agreed on. I thought that was pretty. If she just needs more time to go over everything going on. Well, I don't know. Me and my husband are gonna fix it. I don't know. Anyway, she just changed the subject. I'm like, this lady's not making any sense. So I put it out into that group, and they were like, I would just file a memo for now, wait and see if they call you. If not, within a 60 to 90 day period, then maybe do something else. But they were saying, even though you have done everything right, if you go in front of a judge or a court or something, this lady's lost her mom and you're an investor trying to make money. The optics don't look good. I'm like, okay. But I mean, I understand that part too, right? But I also think that we have to hold sellers accountable for what they've signed legally binding contract. What is your experience or your thoughts?
So did you file the memo yet?
I filed a memo. I talked to an attorney. He's waiting on me maybe to send a demand letter. But what do you think?
I don't know, man. I put myself in the seller's shoes, right?
Yeah.
And she's probably having second thoughts about who knows what. Somebody told her something.
Right.
It's usually a third person.
Yes.
Oh, you can get more for it. You can do this. You can do that. this episode is not over yet
No, it's
because
in progress.
it's in progress. So it's very hard for me to tell you this is what's going to happen.
Right.
What I think what's going to happen is somebody's going to call you to release that memo.
Yeah, I think I hope there's some closure to it. We get paid, we move on. It was a good deal. It was with some land. It was a 6-figure
Well,
deal. Yeah.
I think somebody's going to call you to close on it and release the memo, and then you come into an agreement.
Yeah.
You've done everything right, which is,
Yeah.
hey, what's going on here? Like,
Mhm.
but at the same time, man, let's say I'm selling my house and then I change my mind and I get cold feet. I was like, man, I don't want to go buy this new property, or I don't want to go rent an apartment, or I don't want to move to a trailer, or whatever my plan was.
Mhm.
I just rather stay here because I'm in a comfortable zone.
Right.
That's also a possibility, right? So I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
I'm okay with people getting cold feet because they're like, you know what? I'm gonna stay here. Now, does she live in that property?
No, she's never lived there. Well, when she was a kid, but she's not living there. It's just a vacant property now.
Yeah, somebody's got in it. Like somebody's in between. That's because if she was living in the property, I could understand. She
Mhm.
changed her mind, but now I'm gonna wait or whatever. No, like why? That property is actually costing you tax money every year.
And I told her, I said, if I told her at the end, I was like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around what the reason is. Even though she told me all of that, I'm like, it's not a good reason. you
Yeah,
know, but
I'm not sure, but just have to wait now.
yeah.
Play the
Yeah.
waiting game. Call her every once a month, maybe. Hey, what's going on? Are you okay?
Mhm.
Um, until you hear from that other buyer that potentially she's got paying a little bit more,
Mhm.
and then you deal with that right at that point. Um,
But these are all ways that memorandums are used the right way.
yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
That's 100%. You're protecting yourself, your time invested. That lead costs you money, everything. Like you went and sourced private money probably to close on the
Yeah.
deal.
We're ready.
So of course you got to do what's right, and that's where you put a memo on it.
Yeah.
But people need to understand what a title commitment is and how it's used, and how is it that things go from Schedule C to Schedule B to Schedule in between those two schedules because they don't go to A. Um, and how all those things affect, right? So go to your local title company. What happened to you, Nathan? Started making a weird noise again.
Somebody called me. My bad. I guess this
Oh,
it'll go away. I think there you go.
well,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think when
I'm
they
listening.
call, it keeps ringing, and that's that sound that we keep hearing. So, um,
Yeah. It goes away. But anyway.
yeah. So now, what do you enjoy the most? Do you enjoy the most being a landlord, a flipper, or a wholesaler?
I enjoy freedom. Whatever gets me
Uh,
more free. Right. I enjoy freedom. I do enjoy working with other people, helping them. I do. Um, I just helping people. And I talked about this before. If I go flip a property tomorrow and make 40 grand, it's not going to change my life. But somebody that has never done that will change their life. And
yeah,
so I enjoy that. And I get paid for doing it. I mean, I honestly couldn't ask for a better life for that. Like helping people, making money doing it through real estate investing. That's what I enjoy. And everything else, I either partner or hire somebody for. And we've done that again recently. Hired a new assistant. Like, man, I need to focus on talking to people, getting deals, and raising money. That should be my only focus for me, my personality in this business. There's other people involved, right?
right.
But yeah. So what do that's what I enjoy. Whether it's a flip, whether it's a rental, whether it's a wholesale, I'll be real. Like at this point, that those specific, I don't. it's not like an enjoyment thing, right? What I enjoy is putting the deal together. That's what I enjoy.
Right.
Yeah.
What's next for you, brother? Like, what's in the future for you?
Well, I don't know if I should say, but we got something big coming. We got something big coming that I've been wanting to do. I'm not gonna say right now, but that I have been wanting to do since probably about 15 years ago. And it's now coming to light. Obviously, it's not easy, or I would have done it a long time ago. But yeah, I got a big announcement. Follow me on my social medias, guys. And again, it goes with helping others through real estate investing. But it's a big one. It's a big
Good.
one.
Good for you,
Yeah.
man.
What about you, man? What's new with you?
Nothing, man. Well, I'm the same way, dude. We're doing our podcast. We do our real estate events. The next one is actually in Charlotte, North Carolina,
Nice.
November 7th, 8th, and 9th. So it's a 3-day event. It's 2 days in English, 1 day in Spanish.
Your big one where they do wholesaling live and all that.
Yeah. Well, we're not gonna do wholesaling live. We're doing other things. Like,
Okay.
all my events are different. Like, none of my events are the same. You can come to let's say I did an event in Houston, I don't know, 3 times a year.
Yeah.
All 3 events are gonna be different. So it's never the same. We don't ever follow the same format.
Yeah.
Um
I'll
on the
say
last
Ricardo
one that you
puts
couldn't
on badass events. I can tell you
I
that.
thank you. Appreciate you, bro. The last one that you couldn't come because you were working on some like big apartment deal or something. I forgot what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
That one we had a hypnotist. Dude, he
Oh,
hypnotized like 30 people on stage. That
badass.
bro, that was amazing.
Yeah. Love that.
Seeing everybody hypnotized and people that thought, oh, I'm not gonna get hypnotized. Yes, you are. And so it was fun, man. But we will probably do an event here in Houston in February.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to do it before the rodeo. The rodeo last time we did it while the rodeo was going on, and that was a disaster because people they were sneaking out to go to the rodeo, to the concerts.
Oh no.
So yeah, so that was a lesson learned for me.
Sure.
But the next one we'll do here in Houston is probably gonna be in February. So
Okay.
anyhow, where can people get a hold of you, Nathan?
Follow me on all of them. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of them. Just look up my name. Oh, YouTube. Starting a YouTube channel.
Awesome. Well, guys, don't forget to hit share, like, and subscribe. Follow Nathan on his channels, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. He's the only one that I know that has got his Nathan Haley, like that. Like, I haven't met another one.
Yeah.
Also, that's a real estate investor. This guy's been doing this in Houston for a long time. We have another episode with Nathan where we talked about his journey. So if you want to go find that one, it's in our YouTube channel, it's in our podcast as well. So go look at it. We talked about Nathan's journey. That's why we didn't talk much about that today. We were more like what's going on right now.
What's the latest?
This guy is a legitimate real estate investor in the Houston area, and he's around a lot of the big investors as well. And he's taught how to do this business to a lot of other big investors that were coming in. One name that comes to my mind is Tom Berry, man. Shout out to Tom,
Tom Berry.
who's
Yeah, we started together. Yeah.
you guys started together,
He taught me, I taught him. Yeah.
But you taught him how to do like the getting started, right? I'm not saying you taught him the whole game, but
Right.
Tom is smart enough to where he went and figured it out, and then he just took it to a whole different level, right? So
Tom's amazing.
Tom was on my podcast as well, so I got to get him back here at some time. So anyhow, guys, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much, Nathan. I appreciate you.
Awesome, man.